Hello, and welcome back to Motive X English, your friendly podcast for learning practical, everyday English. Today, we're talking about something very practical, making money.
That's right. The topic is money making. We all need money to live, but how do people make it? Is it only about having the traditional job? Let's talk about it.
Yes, we will discuss different ways to earn money. We'll use simple English, explain new words, and share ideas. This is a great topic for learners because it's useful and full of common vocabulary.
Absolutely. So let's begin. When you think of making money, what is the first idea that comes to your mind?
For most people, I think the first idea is a job, a full-time job. You work for a company, you go to an office or a shop or a factory. You do your work for about 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. At the end of the month, you get a salary. This is the most common way.
Yes, a salary. That's the fixed amount of money you get regularly from your job. It's stable. You can plan your life with it. But is it the only way? Of course not. What is another very common way?
Another common way is hourly work. You don't get a fixed salary. Instead, you get paid for each hour you work. For example, working in a cafe or as a delivery person. If you work more hours, you get more money. This is also called a wage.
Good. So we have salaries and wages. These are what we call active income. You are actively trading your time for money. If you don't work, you don't get paid. But there are other ideas. For example, freelancing.
Freelancing. This is a very popular word today. A freelancer is not a permanent employee of one company. They are self-employed. They work for different clients, often on different projects. A writer, a graphic designer, a translator, a programmer, they can all be freelancers.
Exactly. They sell their skills. They might work from home or from a coffee shop. They have more freedom, but also more responsibility. They have to find their own clients. Their income can be irregular, sometimes a lot, sometimes not so much.
Irregular income, that's a key point. It's not stable like a salary, so it needs good planning. Now let's talk about a very old way of making money, selling things.
Yes, selling things. This could be a physical shop, a brick-and-mortar store, or in the modern world, it could be an online shop. You make a product or you buy a product and then you sell it for a higher price. The difference is your profit.
Profit is very important. Profit equals selling price minus cost. If you buy a book for $5 and sell it for $10, your profit is $5. Simple.
But selling online has many forms. You don't always need to have your own products. You can be an affiliate.
Affiliate? Can you explain that?
Sure. Affiliate marketing is when you promote someone else's product. For example, you have a blog or a YouTube channel about cooking. You recommend a special pan. You give your audience a special link to buy that pan. If they buy it using your link, you get a small commission, a percentage of the sale. You didn't make the pan, but you helped sell it.
I see. So you use your influence to make money. That's connected to another big topic, making money online. The internet has created so many new opportunities. Can you give some other examples?
Of course, content creation. You make videos on YouTube, you write on a blog, you post on social media. If you get many followers, you can make money from advertisements. Companies pay to show ads to your audience. Or you can get sponsorships. A company pays you directly to talk about their product.
And what about the apps on our phones like Uber or Deliveroo?
That's the gig economy. A gig is a short-term job. You use an app. You decide when you want to work. You can drive people with Uber, deliver food with Deliveroo, or do small tasks. It's very flexible. You're like a freelancer for these app companies.
Flexible, yes, but again, the income is not always stable. Okay. All these ways, job, freelancing, selling, gig economy, you are working for the money. Your time is directly connected to your income. But there's another big category, making your money work for you.
Yes, this is a different mindset. This is about investing. You use the money you have saved to make more money. For example, you buy stocks, small pieces of ownership in a company. If the company does well, the value of your stocks goes up, and you can sell them for a profit. Or you get dividends, a small share of the company's profits paid to you.
Or you invest in real estate, property. You buy an apartment and rent it to someone. The rent money is your income. The value of the apartment might also increase over time.
This is often called passive income. You do the work at the beginning, like buying the property or the stocks, and then you can earn money from it regularly without working every day. But it's important to say, investing has risk. The value can go down. You can lose money.
Very important point. Higher possible profit often comes with higher risk, so you must be careful and learn before you invest. Now let's talk about a simple but powerful way, selling your old things.
Oh, I love this one. It's not a job, but it can make good money. You look in your house, old clothes, old books, old furniture you don't use. You can sell them on apps like eBay or Facebook Marketplace. This is a great way to make some extra cash and clean your house at the same time.
Extra cash, that's side income, money you make in addition to your main job. It can be from selling old things, from a small freelance project on the weekend, or a part-time job. This extra money can help a lot with bills or saving for a holiday.
So we have talked about many ways, from traditional jobs to online gigs to investing. It seems the modern world gives us more choices, but also more complexity. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start making extra money?
My first advice is start with your skills. What are you good at? Are you good at writing, good at organizing, good at teaching, good at making things? Use that skill. For example, if you are good at English, you could tutor beginners. If you are good at baking, you could sell cakes to friends.
Perfect advice. Don't try to do something very difficult that you know nothing about. Start with what you know. My second advice is start small. Don't quit your job immediately to start a business. Maybe start with a small project on the weekend. Test your idea. See if people like it. See if you like doing it.
Yes, test the water. And my third advice, be patient. Making money, especially from a new business or online, takes time. You won't become rich in 1 week. You need to build your skills, your reputation, your audience. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And finally, learn about money management. It's not only about making money, but also about keeping it and using it well. What is a budget? How to save? How to avoid debt? This is very, very important.
Absolutely. Making $1,000 and spending $1,200 is a problem. You must spend less than you earn. That's the basic rule for financial health.
So, to summarize, making money today is not one path. It's a mix. Maybe you have a stable job for your main income, do a little freelancing for extra cash, and invest a small amount for the future. That mix can create security and opportunity.
Security and opportunity. I like that. The goal is not just to make money, but to build a life where you have options and less stress about finances.
Exactly. We hope this conversation gave you some useful vocabulary and some ideas to think about.
Remember, the words we use today, salary, wage, freelancer, profit, commission, gig economy, investing, stocks, passive income, side income.
Try to use these words. Think about your own skills. What is one small way you could start?
Thank you for listening to MotiveX English. If you have an idea for making money, tell us about it on our social media.
Until next time, keep learning and take care. Goodbye.
Bye! Vocabulary Review and Practice section. Welcome back for our quick vocabulary review. Let's go over the key words from today's talk about making money.
The first word is salary. Can you explain it again?
A salary is a fixed amount of money paid to an employee, usually every month for their work. It doesn't change based on hours worked. She gets a good salary at her new job.
Good. And the opposite, wage.
A wage is money paid per hour of work. If you work more hours, your pay is higher. He earns an hourly wage of $15 at the supermarket.
Perfect. Now freelancer.
A freelancer is a person who works independently for different companies on specific projects, not as a permanent employee. My sister is a freelance graphic designer.
Next, profit.
Profit is the money you make after subtracting all your costs from your revenue. If you sell a chair for $50 and it cost you $20 to make, your profit is $30.
And commission.
A commission is a fee paid to someone for making a sale. It's usually a percentage of the sale price. The real estate agent got a 3% commission for selling the house.
Great. What about gig economy?
The gig economy is a job market based on short-term contracts or freelance work, often found through apps like Uber or Fiverr. Driving for a rideshare app is part of the gig economy.
Let's talk about investing.
Investing means using your money to buy assets like stocks or property with the goal of making a profit in the future. They started investing a small part of their salary every month.
And a key investment word, stocks.
Stocks, or shares, represent a small piece of ownership in a company. If the company does well, the value of your stocks can increase. He bought stocks in a technology company.
Finally, passive income and side income.
Passive income is money you earn regularly with little daily effort, like rent from a property. Side income, or extra cash, is money earned in addition to your main job. His blog provides a small stream of passive income. She teaches yoga on weekends for some side income.
Excellent. Let's put them together in a summary sentence.
Okay. A person might have a salary from their main job, earn side income from freelancing, and aim to build passive income through smart investing in stocks or property.
Wonderful. That sentence covers a lot. Thank you for reviewing with us.
Practice these words. They are very useful for talking about work and money in English.
Thank you for listening to MotiveX English. If you have an idea for making money, tell us about it on our social media.
Until next time, keep learning and take care. Goodbye.
Bye.